So did you know that women are more likely to suffer financial loss after divorce? But paradoxically, they become much happier. We know that, don't we? But why should we suffer a drop in our standards of living? So maybe that's a situation that's happened to you, but it doesn't have to keep happening. It took me a long time to recover financially from this, but it could have happened a little bit sooner for me had I understood a lot of the principles I'm going to talk about in these videos. So hopefully by the end of this video you'll be inspired to expect to deserve more financial prosperity in your life, and also to know how it's possible to get back on your feet financially too. So you wouldn't be alone if you have experienced financial loss after your divorce, and it can be devastating. But there is, we can see this moment in our lives as being an opportunity for huge transformation, and we can use it as an opportunity to learn about our relationship with money and to change our beliefs around money. And this is something, if it hadn't happened, we might have never have realised. Okay, so financial loss is an indicator that we've got some inner work to do on the beliefs that we hold about money and finances. So in this video we're going to explore some of the strategies and mindset shifts that we need to make to start afresh with our finances, because it's a fresh start for us in some ways. I think that's how we need to reframe that, so that we can move forward with a more optimistic outlook rather than feeling guilt and shame about having lost so much. So we've got to drop that, got to offer ourselves self-compassion, we've got to set ourselves up for future success, future financial success. So ideally what we're aiming for is to be financially independent of anybody else, and we need to know what steps we can take to build our financial security. And if, like me, when all of this happened to me, I didn't have a clue about anything, about what to do about anything. And I'm looking back now and thinking, oh, I wish I'd known all of this sort of thing. I really had no idea. So I'm trying to include things that my past self should have taken on board to build her financial empowerment and future financial prosperity. So the fact that we are viewing our financial situation as a fresh start, it's an opportunity for financial rejuvenation, that in itself, having that more optimistic outlook, can lead to other opportunities for financial growth. Okay, so one of the main challenges on a day-to-day basis is learning how to budget on a reduced income with increased expenses. And even as I say that now, this is something that my past self really struggled with, but it's essential to get that kind of skill on board very quickly. Now, some people are naturally very good at budgeting, but if you have suffered financial loss, if you have suffered from financial abuse before the divorce as well, this is going to be something that you might find a challenge, but it needn't be. So this feeling of being disempowered around our finances before marriage as well, it comes as no surprise, does it, that 40% of women suffer from this experience. But if you can manage to also stay out of debt, and I know this is a common reaction to a situation where, especially if we've experienced financial abuse prior to the divorce, that we can get into a spiral of debt. And this is something we have to try and manage very carefully. We might feel at the time we haven't got much option, but we do have options. So it's important to really give your attention to this. And I know this is difficult when we're dealing with the emotional fallout as well, but your financial security is also really important. It's part of you stepping up for yourself and becoming empowered generally. And there's absolutely no doubt that going solo is going to put you under additional financial pressure. And it's another thing to deal with, isn't it? The emotional pressure of that. But I find the more you take action with things, the less pressure that you're under. So if you've got some strategies in place, you can relieve yourself a little bit of some of that pressure because you're dealing with a situation rather than letting the situation deal with you, if that makes sense. So the other thing we need to look at as well is maybe rebuilding our credit score. Which, if you've gone through financial loss and you've been in this sort of really precarious financial situation, your credit score may well have taken a bit of a hit. And also setting financial goals. So when you're in the middle of financial loss and you're managing on very little income and you've got increasing expenditure, the last thing on your mind is setting future financial goals. And I get that because this is what happened to me, and I completely get it. So we mustn't lose sight of those, because you do have a life after all of this, after the tsunami of everything after the divorce. You've got your amazing life to look forward to, so I want to try and set you up for success, and setting financial goals is going to be one of those things that will help you. So thankfully, we're living in a world where we've got literally at the touch of a button mountains of financial advice. And the one thing I would say is, if you are not used to budgeting, perhaps you're a stay-at-home mum who's suddenly having to go out to work, or perhaps you, because you felt disempowered a little bit like me, that you left the financial planning to your ex, and then now, as you are solo, you don't know how to financially plan, you're lacking in skills. Please don't feel bad about it, because it is just skills based. And when something is skills based, that means you can learn about it. So there is some really good training online available for you to set up a very simple but very effective budget. And you can do it with pen and paper, or you can do it with a spreadsheet, however you want to do it. But please make sure you set a financial budget every month to help you steer yourself through this tricky period. Okay, so in my case, I give myself credit for getting clear of this toxic marriage and getting my life back. And it's been such a massive transformation period for me from the beginning all the way to now. And I wished, in a way, there's a little bit of regret here that I haven't prioritised my financial situation a little bit better. But everything comes in the right time. So I'm doing a lot better now. And the fact is that if I hadn't experienced this situation, I wouldn't have had a clue about money mindset, and I wouldn't have any idea about my money beliefs. And of course, if you're not aware of something, you can't do anything to change it, can you? So for me, it was becoming aware of this situation, that I was carrying these really toxic beliefs about money, and I've been able to dispel those beliefs and hopefully reprogram myself for better, to expect better things from life and to have a much better relationship with money. And I have to thank the divorce for that. So some good has come out of it. Okay, so the key points discussed then in this video are understanding that you can use this as an opportunity of a fresh start to develop a new relationship with money and work on your money mindset. It's an opportunity for you to learn new skills like budgeting skills. If those are new for you, then that is great. You're going to set yourself up for financial success there. Also, just prioritising finance a little bit. If we're a little bit scared of money and we see it as a bit of a taboo subject, we're going to put it fairly low down on our priorities. But please understand, you've got to have it as a priority. So we're prioritising our finances as well. So if you have had any aha moments during this video, then please do share, in the comments, what beliefs do you have about money? Some of them are quite amazing when you really get to think about it. I mean, things like beliefs like, oh, money doesn't grow on trees, or love of money is the root of all evil. These are sort of very sort of commonly held beliefs about money. Is there something that you are beginning to realise now as a result of listening to this video? I'd love to find out. So please click like and subscribe to the channel. It will help more people get to hear my content and help more people. And if you want to see more about money, training about money mindset and how to get financially more empowered after divorce, you can get my video here and you can get another video here. I'll see you in the next one.